In today's video, part 3 of our 3-part series covering everything you'll need to sell final expense remotely, we're going to talk briefly about the process and get into the presentation. Therefore, if you'd like a copy of the telesales presentation script, just stick around to the end of the video and I'm going to show you how to get this for yourself. Also, in the event where you haven't seen part 1 and part 2 for some reason, I would say just click on the link. It should be right up here. And this thing will take you to part 1, that way you can start at the beginning. As far as the sales process and electronic applications are concerned, we suggest using something called the Insurance Toolkits software, as this is going to give you a way to quote multiple carriers while assisting you in the field underwriting process. And by the way, guys, if you're not already good with technology and multitasking, then selling final expense, selling any type of insurance remotely is probably not going to work for you. You have to have strong basic computer skills and be comfortable with using the technology. You're going to need to get good with multitasking, like really fast. And look, here's the thing. As far as the bare minimum is concerned, you're going to need to sound smooth, clear, and professional in the event where you intend on actually getting off to a good start. As far as Insurance Toolkits is concerned, these guys haven't offered to pay me for this and aren't giving us any type of special discount for talking about them. I simply believe that what they've done, what they've got, their product is just really sweet for independent insurance agents, life insurance, final expense agents, and that's why I highly recommend using that. All of our agents have it. There are other products like this available. I just haven't used them, to be honest. Keep in mind, each carrier has a slightly different electronic application process with various signature options for the client, which is why I recommend doing a practice application. One more time, do a practice application with any carrier product that you plan on selling. That way, when you close that first sale and you hop into the application process, you're not looking like a fumbling and bumbling fool. Again, consider doing a practice application with any carrier you might use as mandatory, which is really all part of being prepared. The signature process for the client is usually where most agents have issues, so think about it. By doing a practice app on yourself or your family member, you're going to see exactly what the client sees on your smartphone when it comes to, time to apply the electronic signature on the DocuSign or even the text signature if you're using a product that has that. Before addressing the final expense sales presentation process, please give this video a thumbs up. We recommend you subscribe if you're a new viewer. We're putting out new insurance sales content and final expense sales training videos just like this, like all the time. And if you shoot me an email, I'll gladly give you a copy of a basic final expense presentation script. Look, in all transparency, guys, this is not the script that my agents use. That's proprietary sales material. It wouldn't be cool for me to share what I give to them, agents that are really working hard and earning their money, to give to you for free. It just doesn't make sense. So you'd have to be one of our agents to get that. When it comes to the presentation script, before you even make your first dial, make sure that you're sitting up straight, you've got a big smile on your face, and you use energy and enthusiasm throughout the entire presentation. Practice the presentation script over and over so that you actually sound like you've made several presentations. That makes sense, right? Even when you're making your very first final expense or life insurance sales presentation. You really need to do a lot of work on yourself to prepare yourself for sales. And one of the things I do is recommend studying the art of persuasion and influencing people by reading books and really putting in the work. The very best telesales agents understand how to effectively use proper tonality throughout their presentation and often will use NLP, neuro-linguistics programming, throughout their entire sales presentation process. And that brings us to the 3 things that must occur during your remote final expense sales presentation. No exceptions. 1, you got to build rapport. 2, you have to address the prospect's why by getting them to admit that they need this insurance so they don't leave their family, mainly, generally it's usually someone specific, like a daughter or a son, stuck with the financial burden of having to pay for the funeral while also being burdened with having to plan and take care of the whole funeral process. And number 3, you gotta have the ability and skill set to close the sale while you're overcoming objections. Gotta do it. Believe it or not, the most interested buyers will still tell you that they need to think about it for a little while. Can I have a couple days to think about it? Or I need to speak with so-and-so first. Guys, if you are prepared correctly, think about this. You're simply gonna look at this as part of the sales and application process and use that objection as an opportunity to build value in the product, to build more rapport, which inadvertently is gonna make it easier for you when you come back to reclose the sale. Therefore, once you've closed the sale, make sure you spend a little time, at least a few minutes, just kind of chatting up your new client. Talk about anything other than life insurance. And I mean like anything. The weather, sports, what are you gonna do later? It doesn't matter. Just get them chatting about anything non-insurance related. Guys, I have trained and worked with literally hundreds of insurance agents. So you gotta trust my experience here. The last thing that you wanna do is close the sale and immediately move on to the next client. This post-sale conversation is what we refer to as a cool down, and it's key to keeping your client on the books so that they don't actually get buyer's remorse. Now, you might not want to hear this next part because it's often something that is not mentioned enough, okay? Are you ready? Closing the sale is the easy part. This is when the work actually begins. If you sell someone the insurance and then you don't build upon that relationship, you'll most likely end up in debt because most of these people will cancel or drop the insurance at one point in time or another. So let's say you sell someone a policy today. The next step in the process is to send them a thank you letter like the one that we offered you in part 2 of the series. By sending your brand new client a brochure of the carrier that you just sold them, along with your business card and that thank you note, this is gonna help a lot of people that you sell to get through potential buyer's remorse. As I mentioned in the first video, our clients are on a fixed income. They're often just like scraping by. They know their family needs the benefit of the insurance, so they are making a sacrifice to get this to happen, to make that monthly premium payment. When you send them their welcome packet and or thank you note, make sure to put their information into your CRM, your customer relationship manager, and that way you can set up your automations next. We use a customized version of the Go High level that notifies us of the client's birthday and allows the use of a lot of other automations too. If you can send each of your clients some type of like a text message or even a quick phone call like every 6 months along with a happy birthday call or even a card, which is very nice, and even reach back out to them around the holidays, around November, December, your retention rate will substantially be higher than if you just sold them and disappeared. It's actually probably going to be the difference between you being very successful and or completely failing. Build that relationship, baby. Once you've been selling Final Expense for a while and have a book of business, you can reach out to these people and compliantly see if you can help them with their Medicare Advantage or Medicare supplement plans. Medicare insurance is the perfect product to cross-sell your life insurance and or Final Expense clients, as they're going to all turn 65 at one point or another and absolutely need Medicare insurance. You're making the big sale up front, and then later you're getting in an additional sale that has this huge potential upside of lifetime renewals. For every Medicare Advantage client that sticks with you for 10 years, your profit's gonna be over $3,000 during that 10-year period. Think about it. And also an additional $300+ per year after that too. We're talking lifetime commission for Medicare Advantage. Again, for a copy of the presentation script that I mentioned earlier in the video, just email me at doug@ufesonline.com. If you'd like more information on our remote sales platform, just shoot me an email at that same address. As always, when you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will usually fall right into place. Now get out there or get on that headset, whatever you do, make sure that you do something good for someone else today. Happy hunting.